Now to the good part. I'd like to invite up to the stage right now our chairman of the board, Sean Ford, who will be distributing the plaques this evening and the awards, as well as our administrative assistant, Jessica Stein, who will be feeding Sean, so to speak. You're okay. Our first recipient this evening is Tessa Arnett. Kelsey Bachman. Aldo Barrera. Angelica Black. Elijah Bloom. Jordan Booker. Olivia Booth. Allison Bornhorst. Grace Brandt. Molly Brinkman. Cameron Brown. Camille Brown. Ashley Brush. Kira Buchanan. Timothy Buchter. Kira Burns. Meredith Butt. Tristan Cisco. Tristan Cox. Braden Kraft. Jennifer Cruzy. Jerry Curtis. Alicia Davidson. Catherine Dolder. Jacob Earhart. Wesley Ford. Sarah Ganger. Amantha Garpiel. Ross Guy. my nephew, Ethan Gevenden. Janelle Gravender. John Greer. Caitlin Haynes. Morgan Hamiel. Cassidy Hem. Craig Hemmert. Sam Herndon. Jordan Hicks. Cameron Hill. Ashley Ho. Bradley Holbein. Julia Shong. Dakota Iddings. Kyle Engel. Jonathan Irvin. Peyton Ivy. Grace Jennings. Isaac Ike Karn. Brianna Kessler. Ash Kolsky. Chloe Kuhn. Cassidy Kraft. Matthew Langston. Cameron Lee. Cassandra Lee. Kimora Lee. Olivia Lease. Brent Lemon. Wyatt Long. Kelsey Magato. Madeline McFarland. Bradley McPherson. Haley McPherson. Samantha Martin. Haley Michael. Sierra Miller. Grace Monin. Stephen Monin. Harlan Mullins II. Leanne Price. We're right here. This one. Got it. Alana O'Leary. Ashley Peterson. Gregory Reyes. Alisa Richard. Liliana Rogers. Christina Rohr. Macy Schaffner. Benjamin Schmiesing. Brandon Simmons. Skylar Sloan. Kelsey Smith. Nina Sowers. Lillian Stacy. Shannon Staley. Darian Stewart. Lily Stewart. Destiny Strunk. Aaron Thompson. Kiri Tips. Corinne Tischer. Maya Volken. Mackenzie Weller. Brianna Whirling. Emily Williams. Lauren Williams. Kaylee Wintrow. Let's have another round of applause for these wonderful students. Congratulations on your achievements. Next, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker. Our keynote speaker this evening is Soha Shah. Soha is the Vice President of Operations at Jana Inc., a precision manufacturing company and assembly company in Troy, Ohio. For the past 18 years, she has been responsible for operations, human resources, customer service, marketing, and business development. Service in the local and larger community has always been a part of Soha's personal mission. In her hometown of Piqua, Ohio, she is director for the annual Piqua Regional Science Olympiad Tournament. She's a member of the Piqua Education Foundation Board of Directors, an active member of the Indian Community Organization of Miami and Shelby counties, as well as volunteering several hours a week as a GED math tutor through the ABLE program. Soha also works with various family members in running the Shaw Family Foundation. Additionally, Soha maintains an active role in the Jain community of Southwest Ohio, having been on the executive committee of the Jain Center of Cincinnati, Dayton, and serving as the youngest president of the center in 2001. When Soha is not working or fulfilling her commitments, she is an avid traveler. Some of the more memorable destinations she has traveled to include Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, Africa, base camp of Mount Everest in the Himalayan mountains, and hiking through the Andes in Peru to visit Machu Picchu. Soha is a 1994 graduate of Piqua High School and went on to receive her BA degree in education from the University of Michigan in 1998. And her MBA from the University of Dayton in 2002. Please join me in welcoming our speaker and my good friend, Soha Shah.
Wow, what an introduction. And I'm just going to start with Go Wolverines. So, thank you, Scott, for that introduction, and good evening to everyone. So, I didn't necessarily expect Top 100 to look like this tonight. I'll tell you what my first experience with Top 100 was when I was in 8th grade. And I'm not sure if any of the students are still here, but the fine students who helped serve dinner this evening, I many years ago was once one of those students. I got to serve dinner to the top 100 recipients and their families as a member of National Junior Honor Society. So if they're not here, but I'd still like to give them a round of applause because it's pretty cool. And then when I was in high school, I got to sit where many of you are sitting this evening, except that the whole program was in the Commons. We didn't get to have the nice presentation in the CPA. And after high school, I can honestly tell you I never thought I would be on this side of the Top 100 evening and speaking to you from behind the podium as the keynote speaker. So I'd like to thank the Chamber of Commerce and everyone who planned this evening. I really appreciate the invitation this evening. Congratulations to each and every one of you Top 100 recipients tonight, and to your families. The Top 100, it's an achievement that's not to be taken lightly. I'm positive it took a great deal of hard work and lots of effort. I'm also sure that most of you sitting here this evening, I could be wrong, I've known to be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've got this one down, is that you're involved in some other extracurricular activities, whether it's athletics, arts, local organizations, community organizations, rec centers, youth groups. And I'm pretty confident when I say that, because I know from experience that leaders are always busy and that leaders rarely stop. I think it was already announced, and I'm going to say it again, it's been over 20 years since I sat where you are. And each year that I was in high school and every year that I received the Top 100, I got more and more nervous about what the future was going to bring. And what was I going to do after I graduated from Piqua? I was a good student, maybe a little bit more than good. I worked hard on academics, I played soccer, and I was involved in school activities in various community organizations. But I didn't have life after high school figured out. I basically was a 17-year-old who had no idea what was going to happen the moment I got my high school diploma. High school and Piqua and the surrounding area were safe. They were structured, they were comfortable, I knew what I was doing. But I didn't have anything beyond that figured out. Shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, you'll reach the stars. I just want you to take a minute, and I want you to paint that image in your head. What does your sky look like? So as you're reaching for the moon, and even if you don't make it, you're going to hit the stars. How far away is that moon? How many stars are there? Do you feel any sort of excitement when you try to reach out for the moon? Or is there a sense of a rush of adrenaline as you reach out to the unknown? I got this quote from one of my Top 100 award banquets when I was sitting there. I Googled it and I found out that the credit for the quote goes to Norman Vincent Peale. But I cannot tell you which one of the speakers when I sat in all those banquets, and I can't tell you what year it was. All I can tell you is more than 20 years later, that one quote has stuck with me. As you already heard, I went to the University of Michigan, quite proudly, and I earned my degree in education. During my time in Ann Arbor, I continued this journey of leadership that I had started here in Piqua. I worked toward defining my own goals, achieving whatever personal successes I wanted, and getting and remaining involved in the community. So using this image of the moon, which I think you're going to hear a few times this evening, there are three things that the moon represented for me. I also realized that on Earth we have one moon, and so the fact that I have three means that I'm probably from a slightly different planet. I'm okay with that. So the first moon that we're going to travel to for me is leadership. And it's also, to me, I very much make it a part of social responsibility. Leadership in Webster's dictionary is defined as a position as a leader of a group or an organization, the time when a person holds a position of leadership, and the power of, or ability to lead other people. Those are really powerful and daunting words. And I believe that people, we generally get caught up in the traditional definitions of leadership, whether it's government leaders, school leaders, leaders of athletics, whether you're on the field or off the field. I think we believe that leaders, and the ones that stand out, often have a very formal title: president, mayor, coach. But when we use that criteria, we miss out on seeing how each and every one of us in this room is a leader, in our own way. And our experiences and our unique perspectives define the roles that we take on as leaders. So it's not always an inherent trait to be a leader, but at some point, Each one of us is a leader. Leaders aren't always experts in the field that they've chosen, but they have a passion, and that passion shines very brightly from within them. You can usually identify a leader when you're at an activity or an event or an organization. And the best example that I can give you from my experiences, I'm not a scientist, but as you heard, I'm the director for the Piqua Regional Science Olympiad Tournament, which is one of the most competitive regionals in the state of Ohio. So as a leader, I know my strengths, and I recognize my weaknesses, science being one of them. But my strengths are in the planning, the recruiting, the coordinating, a team together to put that team in place so that the event is an excellent event. That's one of the only reasons that we can be the top-ranked regional. So after even all of that, I still struggled with what I would share with you all tonight with respect to leadership. So I spent a lot of time thinking about the leaders in my life and who've made the most memorable impacts. And I realized it was the people that came before me, my parents and my grandparents. And through their stories and their actions, they demonstrated the importance of always reaching for the moon. I could tell you numerous stories that exemplify their leadership, but Scott only gave me 20 minutes. So when I visit our family homes in India, or any of our family members here do, rarely can I leave without neighbors dropping by and sharing their memories and their stories of how my grandparents and or my parents helped them or were there, lent an ear, provided some sugar, helped with kids going to school, something. But even to this day, I hear those stories, and any one of us family members that go. Additionally, my grandparents were freedom fighters for India's independence. They were part of millions of people who stood up as leaders, stood up to leaders, and they showed their strength, they showed their innovativeness, they showed compassion, even while facing unbelievable adversity. But here's the thing, you won't see their names in any history books. It doesn't make them less of a leader. They were everyday people who wanted to leave the world that they were in a better place. And even if it meant believing in something that they thought was impossible, they continued to work towards that. My parents immigrated to the United States in the late 60s and the early 70s, and they continued on with those leadership roles that they inherited and watched from their parents. Today, they're successful business people in the community, and they continue to remain active in our community activities. My grandparents passed away several years ago, but their lessons and passions have left a lasting impression on me. For me, this translated into making sure that when I went to college, I got involved, and I stayed involved all 4 years. And some of the organizations I picked were the Indian American Student Activities Association, the Student Alumni Council, Dorm Council, and I even gave tours on, once again, my beloved campus of the University of Michigan. If you remember nothing else tonight, you will remember where I went to undergrad. Having started college at 17, uncertain of what my journey was going to be, as I told you, I finished high school and I had no idea what the plan was going to be. I fortunately got to leave college 4 years later quite confident in the ability that I had, the skills to make a difference, and to help provide opportunities to others. My confidence came from the knowledge that I gained in classrooms and the experience that I had being away from home. During those 4 years, as I charted my course to the moon, if I was ever unsure of my step, I relied on the leadership skills of seeking out, because leaders have to know when they have to ask questions. It's okay not to know. So I took that opportunity and I would talk to the people that were my leaders, my role models. It was grandparents, parents, teachers, professors, siblings, friends, and the list went on. So, like I said, I got a lot of input from a lot of different people. But leaders have to know when to look for information and what sources to look for, and then create a plan. So after completing undergrad, I had this plan. I moved back to Ohio, where I joined our family business, and today I'm a part of a leadership team of a small manufacturing company that supplies components internationally to Fortune 100 companies. I earned a master's degree, and I continue to strive towards that ideal of making the world a better place, whether it's at work or whether it's in the community. And I'm involved both locally and on a national level with different organizations. But here's the thing, to stay balanced, leaders have to have their own personal goals as well. You can help all you want, but you have to take care of yourself. So the second moon in my world represents personal goals. And one of mine was trekking to the highest peaks in the world. And I'm pretty sure that I'm never going to get to the moon. So the mountaintops that I reached are physically as close as I will ever get there. I was a soccer player when I was here at Piqua High School. And as any athlete, soccer player will tell you, stamina to have the stamina to be able to last a whole game is pretty intense. It takes a lot of training, and it's a true test of your physical strength. Upon graduation from Piqua, I thought I had hung up my soccer cleats and my entire athletic career forever. But you fast forward 15 years later, and my dad shared one of his personal goals, and it was to trek through the Himalaya mountains. I decided that I was going to make this one of my personal goals as well, because I wanted to see him achieve this goal, and I wanted to watch it and be there as it became a reality. Most importantly, how many people can say they got to go to Mount Everest Base Camp? So as any leader will tell you, it's really helpful to have a plan. But you got to remember, things don't always go according to plan. Dad and I came up with a plan. We were going to start with a smaller mountain. We decided we would pick Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, Africa, which is at a height of 19,600 feet. And just to give you a reference, Everest Base Camp is 19,800 feet. So we didn't really pick a smaller mountain. We had a training plan. In July of 2009, we put that plan into action. And it basically meant countless hours of walking on the bike path here in town. Endless miles, and we trained for this mountain. So as February 2010 got closer, we added training days and routes with backpacks. We would stuff the backpacks with gear to practice carrying weight as we hiked this mountain. And as we were out on the bike path, we always thought, we've got this. We've got a good plan. We're good to go. It's going to be fine. We're going to reach that summit. I would literally come home from those and I would think to myself, what have we gotten ourselves into? Who climbs a mountain? We have no altitude training. And as those of you know, if you live in the area, Piqua is not known for its mountain. So we were pretty sure we were training on flat land. But finally, we went to the Dayton airport, time to board the flight. 24 hours of travel later, including missing suitcases, and a 12-hour time difference. So when it was day here, it was night there, so we were kind of confused the first few days. We made it. And the view that made us realize that we were going to do this, we were going to reach our goal of the summit, was literally seeing Mount Kilimanjaro from our hotel room. We were right. We knew we had to make this trip. We had planned, we had trained, we were going to be 100% fine. Kilimanjaro was that moon for us, represented our personal goals. They were within reach. We were really, really close. We just had to get through the next 7 days on a mountain. The seventh night we summited, everything was going as planned. And literally as you come up over the ledge of Kilimanjaro, the view is breathtaking, it's stunning. It's literally breathtaking because at that altitude you cannot breathe. So we were fighting for every breath. But it's also stunning when you actually catch your breath and have a chance to look out over the mountain. The sunrise colors are brighter than I've ever seen. The oranges are more orange, the yellows are more yellow, the pinks are pinker. The snow is whiter, if that's possible. The sky is bluer. And all of this, you just look out there and there's this sense of calm and peace and serenity. So I looked and I was like, we made it. We really made it. From the flatlands of Piqua to the mountaintop in Africa, we made it. It was a physical realization of a plan coming together. And that plan, as our leadership training had taught Dad and I, was you implement, execute. We were fine. So feeling pretty exhausted and exhilarated at the same time, we started back down the mountain. And we welcomed the oxygen that was filling our lungs again, and we could breathe a little easier. So we thought everything was good. This was a great trip. A short while later, I look back behind me. My dad is on the ground, and he says, I think I broke my ankle. This was definitely not part of the plan. Nowhere in our plans had we said broken bones were okay. So it took a lot of creativity, a lot of the skills that we had learned literally at 18,000 feet. You don't have time. So the porters from the US and Tanzania made a splint for Dad. It's pretty creative, hiking poles, shoelaces, bandanas, fleeces. We got down to 16,000 feet, And mind you, there's no stretchers up there either, so it was sort of this made-up tarp kind of thing that they carried him down in. Most of the rest of our group had gotten to camp. The plan for the day, because all leaders have a plan, was summit, get back to camp, nap, eat lunch, and head down to a further camp. The nap was no longer an option. The entire group pretty much did not like us for that. The lunch was quite quick instead of the nice leisurely lunch that we thought we were going to have. The porters and guides spent a lot of time debating what to do. Do we wait for a helicopter or do we just go? So we finally decided we were going to go to the next camp. And here's the thing. All the leadership training that I had meant that as I was sitting there worrying about Dad and his broken ankle, the list of things to do started. It was find our passports when we got back to town, call the airline, change the tickets, pack our bags, call my mom. She didn't know that we were on a mountain with Dad with a broken ankle. Maybe some decisions you kind of had to think about when you're there, but the porters were really amazing and got Dad down the mountain much, much faster. So he had already been x-rayed. They determined for sure that both bones in his ankle were broken. He'd gotten a cast and was back at the hotel before all of us got off the mountain. So he was sitting kind of nicely. It sort of looked like he was a king, actually, in many ways. He had this nice walker and a chair, and the whole staff was attending to him. But in the interest of time, I'll tell you that it turned out fine. Dad got back to the U.S. He had surgery, and he didn't forget his dream of trekking through the Himalayas. It just took a little longer than he originally thought. After he recovered, we pushed ourselves again. We used the bike path again, and we trained, and we planned, and we went to Nepal, and we trekked through the Himalayas. And after a lot of work, we safely summited this time with no broken bones. And then this goal, like, you get this bug after a while, after trek a couple mountains, and I didn't stop. I went to Machu Picchu. And then last year, as though the mountains weren't enough, I decided I would train some more because I needed another challenge. And I trained and ran a half marathon. And you might be wondering, why am I telling you all this? Because it probably seems a little boring. But here's the thing. I want you to understand that when you define your own challenges, the feeling of completing and achieving them is amazing. It's stunning. And the power that you will feel from having known you accomplished it, you defined it, you set the goal, you made the plan, and you got there. The confidence that comes from that is stunning. And no one can take it away from you. It gives you the chance to create your own new personal goals. So tonight, I told you to reach for the moon, and I want you to leave here also think about what your challenge is going to be. What moon are you going to reach for? Each and every time I've ever achieved a personal goal, it made my desire to give back even stronger. As I've had the good fortune of being able to travel, I realize that I've been afforded a lot of opportunities that not everyone can have. But today, as a leader, that also means that I owe something. I got these opportunities, I have to give back. So here's my third moon, and the last stop in my solar system galaxy is that it's civic involvement or volunteerism. And for me, volunteering combines the passion that I have for leadership roles and personal goals. So whether I'm volunteering my time at my temple to make sure that my generation stays engaged, or if I'm planning the Regional Science Olympiad tournament, which is held here at the high school and the junior high, or if I'm tutoring GED students, or planning a Piqua Education Foundation class night function, that feeling of pride that you get when someone walks by and says, you made a difference. You took a leadership role and you made a difference in my life. It's amazing. There are no words to describe it. Having a GED student walk by and tell you they passed their test and they got their GED because you took a few hours out of an evening that you could have been at home otherwise is amazing. It's meaningful, it's powerful. Or when it comes to Science Olympiad, because I spend about 6 months a year planning it. And I listen and I come up with schedules and I come up with rules and plans, and some of you may have even been here and listened to all the rules that I give you. And I listen to coaches making passionate pleas about why their team should have a chance to go to state. I can forget all of that exhaustion as soon as I hand out the first award. Because it's powerful to watch pure joy and to watch someone do work and realize you had a hand in them achieving their goal. So hearing cheers, seeing smiles, and watching the success of others reminds me that I've reached the moon. And even when I don't think I've quite landed softly, I'm amongst the stars. I'd be really remiss if I didn't talk to you about academics and education, especially because we're here celebrating your educational academic achievements tonight. So I can't say enough about a special group of leaders that often doesn't get recognized. It's teachers and educators. In addition to our parents and grandparents and siblings and families, not all of them always have a fancy title, but all of them are leaders. And each one of them takes the time to create a plan. Sometimes it's daily, it's a lesson plan, it's the plan for the end of the school year, the goal. And I have to be honest, even myself, I'm guilty of this, but as students, we don't necessarily give that due diligence. We don't recognize that they've put time, and without realizing it, we usually derail their best laid plans. And it's okay, because there are these leaders that can respond to that quickly. There's a lot of us in the room usually. But I hope as you celebrate your academic achievements tonight, you remember to thank the teachers along the way. Education is a really, really powerful thing, and it's a tool that can change the trajectory of our lives. Living proof of this is that I have 4 siblings, so my siblings and I are all Piqua High School alumni, and together we possess 5 bachelor's degrees, 6 master's degrees, and a medical degree. And in case you've lost count, we have 12 college degrees between us. And we all started where you are tonight. We sat out in the Commons. We received our awards for Top 100. We went on to get our high school diplomas. Some of us even went, not I, obviously, Ivy League schools, but I went to a Big Ten school. But we all had wonderful opportunities. And we're all scattered around the U.S. now, but I can promise you that we all give back in whatever way we can, whether it's our chosen field of medicine, chosen field of education, business, engineering. There's not a day that we don't remember sitting where you are today. The thing is that we all reached for the moon and we landed amongst the stars. For some of us are still on the moon. When my parents were embracing their roles as leaders and my grandparents, they never forgot to emphasize this importance on education. And today, more than ever, I realize that the two are inseparable. Leadership and education go hand in hand. So to be a powerful leader, you have to be educated. But here's the thing, it doesn't mean that you have to have a college degree. It doesn't mean you have to have a master's and then a PhD. Education means, it can also mean just listening to other people. It can mean reading the paper, or Google, or the internet, or whatever it is today. But the idea that don't be closed-minded, welcome others' opinions. So wherever your paths take you in the future, I want you to remember, you're the ones that are going to be called to lead the world. You're going to lead us through the low points, and you're going to guide us as we soar through the high points. But you have to be willing to be a lifelong learner and a leader, because what you have learned to date and how you have led, combined with what you're going to learn and how you're going to lead, are going to be the most powerful tools you have at your disposal. Use it well, use it often, and use it to change the world. You being here tonight as Top 100 recipients already shows that you're well on your way to reaching your moon and defining your goals. Here's the thing that you cannot and must not forget. Your journey doesn't stop here tonight. It just started. Use your time here, whether you're at Piqua High School, whether you're at Lehman, or whether you're at the Career Center, to explore the activities that are going to define your passions. And remember, it can be anything. It can be arts, athletics, language, music, academics. That's a really short list. You could pick something completely non-traditional, and that's okay. As you develop your skills, remember to keep them sharp, so that when you get to the next stop on your journey, you have a place to start for the next moon that you're going to reach. For some of you, the next step is going to be college. For some of you, it's going to be college preparations as you enter your sophomore, junior years. Some of you in the future are going to settle in the Piqua area, or Sydney, or Troy. Some of you are going to spread your wings really far and not be here in this area. But whatever you learn, whatever you do, the beginning of your journey to your moon is here. I'll be really honest with you. 20 years from now, I would be really, really honored if you remembered my name or something other than the fact that I went to University of Michigan. And it's okay if you don't remember me. I already told you, I didn't remember any of the speakers that spoke at my Top 100 banquets. And it's really, really okay. But for over 20 years, this image that I asked you to paint of reaching for the moon and landing on the stars has stuck with me. And it sort of helped me chart my path. And I can only hope that you'll remember that and that image as you chart your paths. So I hope you hold on to that. I hope you remember to always shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, know that you'll land among the stars. Thank you for your time this evening, and congratulations again to all of you.
All right, thank you very much, Soha. I have a few closing remarks and a few thank yous, I promise. Scott only gave me 20 minutes to thank people, so it won't be that long. Just kidding, I'm just kidding. All right, first of all, we want to thank Alicia Hare, PHS Food Service, and the kitchen volunteers for the wonderful meal that we had. We want to thank Piqua Catholic and the Piqua Junior High National Honor Society students for serving the meal, so thank you very much. The Piqua Chamber ambassadors for being our greeters and ushers this evening, so thank you guys. Rick Haynes and the Piqua High School staff and for the use of the facility tonight. All of the school representatives, Rick Haynes, Tony Lyons, Melissa Bennett, and Dr. Nancy Luce, thank you guys. For our keynote speaker and longtime friend of mine as well, Soha Shah. For our invocation by KZ Hines. Our chamber staff for coordinating the event and helping behind the scenes to make this successful event run as smoothly as possible. And also just a quick special thanks to our sponsors. Our lead sponsor, the French Oil Mill Machinery Company, and all the other businesses sponsors listed on your program. And our last announcement, and this is a very important one, 4-year recipients in the top 100. Please stay after for a photo next to the chamber banner here to my right. So thank you guys very much. You guys are awesome. Good luck in the future, and have a good night.